we've got Janice. Wasn't looking at there. I got to talking and forgot it all. How you doing?
Hi, David. I'm looking at Chesapeake Energy.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in the stock probably since the high threes.
Okay.
So I was wondering if I should take some profit now or just ride this out.
So what were you thinking when you started?
Basically, I was just looking at the chart and the price of gasoline going up, and I just took a chance here with this, and so I kind of wrote it out. I saw some of the volume going up on it back in March.
Okay.
So I got in at about 375.
Well, certainly you've got a great profit. You had a spike today. The volume's okay so far, so you don't have a great signal, other than the fact that you wanted to have somewhere around 138 million shares today, and you got about 46 million shares. So I guess the question is, how much more do you think that there is in this thing?
Right.
Do you have an answer to that?
You know what? I don't know. I was looking at the weekly chart also, and I guess that's the $1 million question: is how much more do I think this is going to go up, or should I take possibly half of it off the table?
Well, I'd either take all or half, all of it or none of it. I don't understand the half part of it. Either it's a bad idea to hold it, or it's a good idea to hold it. Right.
Right.
I mean, that I don't understand that half part of it. I do in options, where maybe you've got half the options are in the money, and then you get a free ride or something.
Mm-hmm.
But in an equity, unless you see something else, you know when earnings are on this?
They're coming up soon. They might be August.
Let's take a quick look at that real quick. Okay, CHK. You want to hold on through the break?
Yep, no
I want
problem.
to talk about this one a little bit more. Okay, I see August 1st is earnings on this. So we'll talk about how this is setting up when we come back from Janice in Pennsylvania in just 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, so you spiked to $5.44. Your last high is $5 out here. How would you feel if this thing closed below $5 and you sold it, compared to selling it today? How would you feel?
How would I feel? I probably would not feel so good.
So 20 cents makes a difference to you?
I think so. And here, yes, absolutely. For the way this chart looks to me, yeah.
Okay. I would say that there's nothing in here that says that this thing can't go sideways and up until earnings on August 1st.
Okay.
So the question is, how do you want to sit on this thing into earnings? If this thing was, I'd say there would be no question about it if earnings were just 2 weeks away, but earnings about 4 weeks away. But I mean, if you can hang into this thing, you might get $5.50 or $6 out of it, which would be a nice trade going into earnings. So that is, to me, sitting on a fairly decent trade if you didn't take the spike today and get out. That you just put I would just say if it closed under $5, that's where the danger would lie.
Okay.
But there's nothing out here that you basically have something out here that says you're probably not going higher in the next few days.
Okay.
Now, it's just a question of how long you planned on hanging on to it. If it bothers you, the 20 cents, I'd probably take the cash now and look for it. And if it gets back under $5, especially going into earnings, this would be very interesting. I may not hold it through earnings, but holding it into earnings may be very nice. You might see another buck. You might see another buck. So if you wanted to get out of it now, you think the market's kind of pulling back and everything, or you don't want to sit on this and let it go sideways for a while, pull back and see if you don't get an opportunity to get back in it. There's nothing that looks bad in this other than the fact this one day where you spiked the previous high and didn't have any volume. But kind of a horrible day, and I don't want to make a decision on a single candle for the long term on it.
Yes.
But I think it's a great trade. Congratulations. And what do you think you're going to do?
I think I'm going to sit on it because that's what I had intended to do anyway. I've been kind of sitting on this as I was riding it up.
Yeah.
And I guess because I got it so low, so I sat on it, and I thought the same thing you did, hold this into earnings, even if it goes sideways or a little bit up and down. I guess I was just looking at the candle for today, and I didn't know if it was running out of juice.
Well, it certainly is kind of at least had an exhaustion move today.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of means that you're not going to get a lot of cash out of it in the next few days. And like I said, if you can, as long as it doesn't close back below $5, I think you still have that kind of nice looking deal. You probably have, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. We close anywhere positive on the day on the S&P cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've got kind of a floor under this market. Again, not going much higher, maybe 2750 or something into 4th of July. Maybe it just kind of goes sideways. I just think that maybe we're going to see a lot more of these 5-6 point moves up and down in the S&P instead of the 20 and 30, right?
Right.
So it can and the longer it kind of goes sideways. Now, one of the reasons I kind of like this is it's got a 20% short interest in it.
Okay.
So you've got a very nice setup here. I'll look at this tonight when I get my new short data. But
Mm-hmm.
even if I look at just the daily data, yesterday, 27% of the orders in this thing were short. So you got a lot of people out here. If this thing goes higher, it's probably going to go a lot higher on their money.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably on the wrong side of the trade, I suspect. How many people want to short a $5 stock?
Right.
Yeah, apparently a lot, and I think they're stupid for doing it. So to me, I like the setup here. I like it going into earnings. The only question is whether or not it pulls back enough to kind of scare you out of it before earnings. But beautiful trade. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day now.
You bet. You can be like Janice and call me at 877-927-6648.